When an unplanned pregnancy interrupts the script a woman has sketched out for her life, many conflicting emotions compete for center stage: panic, fear, anger, and guilt.
When I first found out I was pregnant, I was in the bathroom and I did one of the at-home pregnancy tests. And yes, of course, the first thing came to mind, abortion. But I didn't want to think about that. I was attending church a lot. I called myself Christian, but of course I wasn't following the way I should have. But I said, no, that's wrong. God won't want me to do this. A lot of things were going through my head, a lot of mixed emotions.
The exciting news she needs to hear is that God's forgiveness will meet her at her point of need, and that His sufficiency will abundantly supply. One way He often does that is through us, Birth Choice of Temecula.
And a friend of mine had spoke to my mom about birth choice, and my mom instantly called me and said, I have a good feeling about this, let's go. And just instantly came down here, and that's when I walked in the store and met Adele. I was a host home. I've been a host home several times, and one of the girls I was a host home for was April. I lived in many homes, and each one, I, of course, was a teenager, so I didn't like to obey the rules. I kept getting kicked out of them, and it just seemed like my situation kept getting worse and worse. I had no hope. I was done with it. And when I walked into Birth Choice, I met Adele, and she gave me a host home. She invited me in with open arms, and she told me, within 15 minutes of walking in the door, you can live with me. And then, of course, I was scared and unsure, but then I still had that sense of hope and excitement of how my life was going to turn out. I started actually getting excited about the pregnancy. And
she had not finished high school, and she didn't have a driver's license. She needed to get a car. She needed training for a job. We got her enrolled in school. My husband taught her how to drive and took her to her driving tests, all 5 of them, until she passed. And we helped her get her car, and the first one didn't work out very well, so we actually bought her another one.
Birth Choice is an outreach mission to the community, where the unconditional love of the Lord Jesus Christ is shown to anyone facing a crisis related to pregnancy. We seek to demonstrate this love by offering spiritual, physical, and emotional support, as well as practical assistance and referrals to each of our clients. We educate both clients and the community about the truth of God as it relates to chastity, the aftermath of abortion, and their baby's God-given right to live. At Birth Choice, we believe you have the right to know all your choices and options. Learning the truth and hearing new ideas always elevates a person. Our staff will listen and offer solutions that will empower you to make a decision you can be proud of.
The kids who come to Birth Choice tell me that they felt very good about the information that they receive and the opportunity that they have to make a personal decision.
The girls that come into Birth Choice do have options, and we go through each and every one of those. We talk about abortion in the sense that we tell them the dangers of abortion, and the gift of life is the most important part when they choose an abortion, that they're terminating life. We talk about sexually transmitted diseases also, and their high risk that they're taking. We talk about adoption, a gift that they can give to other husband and wife that aren't able to have children.
I'll try and let them know how the development of their baby, where it's at the time, so that they can consider that their pregnancy as a live baby, and that it is a human being, and so they get that in their mind, that it's not just tissue, that it is something that they will make a choice for. I also try and let them know that even if they do have an abortion, it's not something that's going to be gone right away. They will have this in their mind forever. It's not a quick fix.
Many women are surprised to discover that their hopes and dreams don't need to go unfulfilled due to unplanned pregnancy. Your education, career, and relationships can adjust and move forward. You will be relieved that you don't have to sacrifice your values to obtain a good outcome.
Hopes and dreams don't change when they come into Birth Choice. We tell them that their life goes on, that this is a very temporary thing. It seems like a crisis at this point in time in their life, but they have all their future ahead of them, and they don't have to give up anything because of the pregnancy.
They do think that all the plans that they've had, their hopes they're over. And then maybe they just have to be put on hold, but that doesn't mean they're over. And they can still go to school, they can still work, they still can fulfill everything that they wanted to. This is just 9 months. A lot of people think that this is this horrible life sentence that they've just been handed. If by ending their pregnancies, that they'll be able to continue on. But what they don't realize is that by ending their pregnancies, they still have baggage to carry with them. And that that is a life sentence. Where having your child is not a negative life sentence, but having an abortion is a negative life sentence that can be very destructive and can ruin your hopes and dreams. But having your child might delay that, but it certainly doesn't end that.
Birth Choice of Temecula provides pregnancy tests, personal consultations, maternity home referrals, financial aid information, medical referrals, adoption referrals, maternity and baby clothing, post-abortion support, Speakers Bureau. All services are free and confidential. Pregnancy resource centers are on the front lines in most communities, making a practical, loving effort to help women choose life over abortion. God's truth never varies, but new methods of communicating it continue to emerge, including a departure from the term crisis pregnancy itself. Many centers now favor a more neutral, solution-oriented name, such as Pregnancy Resource Center or Birth Choice, a voice of love, a choice for life. Birth Choice has been a great source of help for many families in the Temecula area since 1988. But with a growing community, the needs of the center also grow. Volunteers, counselors, office assistants, nurses, directors, and many physical and financial donations are needed as well. Welcome participation in many of our fundraising efforts, such as our baby bottle boomerang, where the bottles can be taken home and filled with coins, cash, or check donations. Our annual golf marathon, Walk for Life and Banquet help bring in support. The annual Sanctity of Human Life Week, a time to take a stand for the value of every human life from conception to natural death, is a great opportunity for churches to promote awareness of birth choice. Wear the Precious Feet pin. It is the exact size and shape of an unborn baby's feet at 10 weeks. The gifts you give help provide teens and women in unplanned pregnancies with life-saving abortion alternatives and Christian counseling. By sharing God's love with these clients, we are able to help them through post-abortion healing. We strive to show the community that every life is valuable.
Post-abortion syndrome happens to a woman after she's had an abortion and usually starts occurring about 10 years after their abortion. The symptoms are depression, sleeplessness, anger. It can lead to suicide, drug and alcohol addiction, and these are all symptoms of this trauma, which are not usually addressed. We have a program here at Birth Choice of biblical counseling and healing so that they can forgive themselves and know that God forgives them.
The past year, Birth Choice was able to serve 1,100 people with pregnancy counseling, phone counseling, abstinence and post-abortion counseling, referrals to other agencies, food, baby and maternity clothes, and diapers. Most importantly, many sessions are ended by praying with the client. A Bible is offered to each client counseled, and many clients commit their lives to the Lord.
What was really exciting, though, was about a year later, she and her boyfriend, the father of her baby, went through counseling at Calvary Chapel, and they got married. We got to go to their wedding, and
they are in a committed relationship. So the baby now, her little boy, their little boy, has a mother and a father.